One of the questions I get an awful lot from people is they don't really know how to make their day feel enjoyable anymore. You know, I get a lot of people who keep saying to me that their day consists pretty much of the same things over and over again, and they just have no enjoyment in life anymore. And that is really sad to hear because, you know, I've been that myself, and to be fair, I do find myself some days feeling like that even still. But where I was over the past, you know, where I was 2 years ago compared to where I am now is made a huge difference. And I've done certain things that have made pretty much 90% of the days that I've had feel absolutely incredibly sick and so enjoyable that, like, it's unbelievably sad that, like, no one my age really gets to experience this. And, like, I'm not rich, I don't have high status, I'm just an average guy. And I'm going to tell you how to get to the same stage that I am at in life at the minute, where pretty much every single day is so enjoyable, where you just don't even want to go back to that life that you had where you were scrolling on TikTok and talking to your shitty friends in Discord. So the first thing that you must do is you must go outside. And I know that is very vague, but, like, what I really mean is something that not a lot of people really tell you about is you have to have, like, an intention. I'll give you an example. One of the things I started doing whenever I didn't really know what to do whenever I would go outside is food. You know, I love food, I love eating it, I love drinking coffee, I love doing all this, so I just went to cafes. That's all I really did. I just went to, like, restaurants and cafes on my own, because one thing I realised was that, like, there were so much places, like food places I would love to go to eat, but I never went because I was too scared going by myself. And so that was a challenge that I set myself right away, that I'm just going to go to a load of restaurants that I've never really been before. And, you know, as sad as some people may think it is, it actually was really enjoyable, you know? Like, eating my favourite dishes that I never really got to eat, that I really wanted to eat. There was nothing really holding me back. All it really was just the insecurity of just being seen alone. Once I did it, the first time was pretty scary because I thought, like, everybody was looking at me. But, like, the second or third time I went, I just got used to it and I didn't really care, you know? And that was a huge bit of independence and freedom that I actually unlocked, that was so fun and enjoyable for me, that, you know, whenever there was a restaurant that I really, or a food place or anywhere that I wanted to go to, you know, I would just go and I just wouldn't really care, and it made me way more happier, you know? It made me actually, like, really enjoy planning things and going outside and doing activities. You know, another thing that I did was, maybe if you're somebody who, like I said, you don't like going to restaurants or whatever, go to the cinema by yourself. Like, that's another one as well. Like, there's been so many films that have come out over the past few years that I really wanted to go and see, and I would never go because, you know, I didn't really have friends that really wanted to go to the cinema an awful lot. And I had friends as well that just weren't into the same films as I was. So I just went, and if you're wondering what the film was, it was John Wick 4. You know, it came out, and I thought to myself, look, I really want to go and see this, and I'm not going to sit and wait for, you know, to go with other people. So I just booked a ticket online and just went myself. And, like, you know, that's a memory that stuck in my head for a very long time. And all it really was just me going to the cinema by myself. But because, you know, it was me actually just having a bit of fun on my own, it really stands out, because back then I never really had that. I never really enjoyed being by myself. I always had to be with other people to have fun. I always relied on a friend group to have fun, you know? And once you start doing those things, when you start going to the cinema, or maybe you start, like I said, going to a restaurant by yourself, you'll start to branch out a little bit more, and you'll start to then do other things, like maybe go play football by yourself. That's another thing as well. And you'll end up bumping into people who will just want to join in with you, and you'll end up getting in conversations with people out in public, and that can cause, you know, the likes of a new friendship, or, you know, you can end up talking to, you know, a good looking girl and get her phone number and end up going on a date with her. Like, you can make things happen by just simply starting off doing, like, very simple things. So create an intention whenever you do want to go outside, and if you actually want to enjoy every single day for the rest of your life, like I said, start off with just an intention, big or small. It can be massive if you can do it, but if you can't do it, start off with something really small. It could just be something as simple as just going for a walk to the shop. You know what I mean? Like, just something that is really small that just gets you to do it, and just keep doing that until you can then think of something else, and then go and do that. and just do things for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, how many times have you sat there and wanted to do those sort of things that I just mentioned, like go to these places, but you never really went just because you were too scared to go by yourself, because you're afraid of being judged by other people? Who gives a crap? You know what I mean? Like, it really, really doesn't matter at the end of the day, and you only will get to understand that once you've done that. You know, some of the best days of your life come from the most unexpected times. Sometimes there'll be one day where you will wake up, right, and you'll walk past that cute girl because you made the decision to go outside and actually like go for a walk, or you know, you wanted to go to one of your favorite spots with a nice view, and you bumped into, like I said, somebody, and something ended up happening unexpected that was absolutely amazing. Some of them things really do happen, you know. Like, if you're somebody who's like a teenager or something and you've never really have, you know, any life experience, one of the things you can do is take a ticket to one of the biggest cities near you, right? £5-10 bus ticket, and just go into a city, right, and just walk about yourself. You know what I mean? And go to a restaurant, ask, you know, sit down, or maybe go up and cold approach somebody. If you see somebody who's in a suit who looks like they're wealthy, go up to them and just like, you know, just brainstorm a load of shit. It's unbelievably like easy just to come up with this random stuff to do that actually makes your days so fun and enjoyable, because you don't put yourself in those environments where those people are, you know. And even if, like, you know, nothing really ends up happening, so what? You know what I mean? Like, you've put yourself in those positions. Keep doing it, and if the more you keep doing it, things will happen. And it sounds scary, it sounds intimidating, you know, the thought of doing all these things on your own. But like, again, time is going to go by and you're just going to be doing the same thing. You're going to be stuck in the same routine. You know, imagine you've done these things. If you close your eyes and you imagine that you have those sort of life stories, those are stories that will stick with you for the rest of your life, man. Those are stories that you can sit and tell your future wife, your future kids, where you're like, yeah, I just like randomly stood up one day and decided to go and take a bus on our bus journey into my local big city. And I talked to, I cold approached 10 girls, went on 5 dates or something like that there, spoke to, you know, 3 entrepreneurs. You know, I had a bit of money, so I stayed the night, and I didn't come back. Like, that's the sort of stories that people respect so much, you know what I mean? And that's just by you fucking just being a man and living your life, man, you know? It's so pathetic the way some young fellas live. They're just so isolated in their rooms and just like don't want to do anything. They have no ambition. They don't want to do anything with their lives, man. It's just fucking pathetic. And mostly it's because of their parents. Their parents never really kicked them up the ass so hard to actually get them out into the world to do shit, you know? One of the things I'm planning on doing at the minute is going on holiday by myself. 2 years ago, the thought of me going on holiday by myself would have been so terrifying. But I really wanted to do it. You know, I just was scared to do it because I didn't really know what to do. And now I'm literally planning on going to Italy by myself. You know, and that's a story for me that will be incredible, because I know there'll be a lot of things that will end up happening there, you know. And I have no idea what I'm going to do when I get there. But obviously I'm not just going to spend all day doing absolutely nothing. I'm going to explore the place. It's the first thing I'm going to do. You know, I'm going to go to a restaurant, get the nice food, do something and talk to, you know, like, when you will be amazed at the things that you can do once you just elaborate and improvise. But the first thing you have to do is just take that first step. Don't waste your time looking back. We're not going that way.